Have you ever stopped to consider that routine might be the biggest thief of your happiness? Every day, we choose between living on autopilot or transforming small actions into moments of purpose. Today, discover how an intern changed her destiny with ethics and passion. Get ready for a story that will reignite your energy.
Wake up to life. Don't let routine extinguish your energy. Perform your tasks with care and dedication, as this will bring you satisfaction and joy. The daily grind can be draining, but you choose to recharge your happiness. Contribute, do it with pleasure, and feel the reward of satisfaction. Every new day is an opportunity to renew your passion and spirit. This way, you will seek and receive new and beautiful horizons. And now, listen to Apollo tell the story of a young woman who, even in a toxic environment, found strength in integrity and turned challenges into victory. Can you do the same?
Rachel, a 22-year-old intern, faced a great challenge every day on her professional journey. She worked at a prestigious company in the field of biomedicine and aesthetics, a highly competitive and demanding area. But for her, the first days were full of difficulties. The cold and hostile environment didn't help. Her colleagues competed among themselves, and gossip in the hallways seemed to be the only way to interact. To make matters worse, her supervisor, Mr. Lopez, constantly disparaged her, ignoring her ideas and harshly criticizing her proposals. "You still have a lot to learn, Rachel. Those ideas are good, but they need more experience," he would say with an authoritative tone, as if he were defining her destiny. Mr. Lopez's words seemed to echo in Rachel's mind, eroding her confidence. But she knew that the daily routine could be demotivating, that physical and emotional work could take over, but that she didn't have to let that define her spirit. Rachel decided she wouldn't be dominated by frustration. She couldn't change the environment immediately, but she could change the way she reacted to it. She chose not to respond with the same hostility she received, and instead, dedicated herself to learning from every criticism, even the most unfair ones. In the silence of her work shift, Rachel found an inner strength that propelled her. She took note of all her mistakes and successes, as if every small lesson was an opportunity to grow. While other interns complained about the toxic environment, she focused on improving herself. It was as if she knew that her personal preparation would be the key to success amidst adversity. Every day, she felt stronger, more centered, and more determined. On a normal day, when others were involved in futile conversations and gossip, Rachel noticed that a colleague was about to make a serious error in an important report. She didn't think twice. She decided to discreetly warn the colleague, without worrying about potential judgment. The colleague, surprised, thanked her, but quickly said, "Here, helping others is seen as weakness." Rachel felt the weight of those words, but she didn't let them rattle her. She was clear that her intervention was intended to help the colleague. It wasn't about standing out, but rather about helping by doing good. The great test of her courage and integrity came when Rachel discovered a critical flaw in an important project. An error that, if not corrected, could result in disastrous consequences for the company. She knew she could simply ignore the problem and let someone else be responsible for the failure, but Rachel chose not to take that path. Instead, she decided to confront her supervisor, Mr. Lopez, even knowing he didn't respect her. With courage and firmness, she approached him. "Mr. Lopez, I found an issue in the safety protocol. Can we correct it before the presentation?" she said, maintaining her composure. He looked at her with disdain, but her serious attitude made him listen. Mr. Lopez, perhaps suspicious, checked the data and to his surprise, Rachel was right. The error was there, and she had identified it before it was too late. At the board meeting, the error was presented and corrected thanks to Rachel's intervention. The director, surprised and pleased with the insight of the person who formulated the change based on severe attention to detail, coupled with her proactive attitude, asked who had identified the problem. Mr. Lopez, constrained, pointed to Rachel. It was her, he admitted, in an almost reluctant tone. The director then asked Rachel to explain the solution. Rachel, with humility, presented the data with conviction and clarity, without boasting. "I only did my duty," she said, with a discreet smile, but satisfied to have fulfilled her role with ethics and responsibility. Weeks passed, and Rachel continued to perform her job with excellence, but now with new recognition. She was called into the director's office, who with a smile told her, "We have completed all checks and recognize that your action saved the company from a very large loss. We want to promote you to junior analyst." The news was a milestone in her early career. What seemed impossible now became reality. Rachel not only gained respect but also showed herself that dedication, integrity, and humility were, in fact, the greatest weapons she could have. The co-workers who had previously ignored her or viewed her actions with disdain began to seek her out for explanations and guidance. Rachel, without ever boasting, knew that her true victory wasn't the promotion, but the inner transformation she had experienced. She didn't have to change the environment around her, she changed the way she faced life and its challenges. Rachel, in a moment of reflection, looking out the office window, smiled to herself. The urban landscape seemed more beautiful, more inviting. The world was opening up before her. And with a sigh of gratitude, she lifted her eyes to the sky and thought, every challenge is a chance to shine. Her professional activity hadn't been easy, but she had found strength in adversity and had wisely known how to recharge her energy every new day. This story teaches us that, even in difficult and challenging environments, it is possible to transform adversity into learning and growth. Rachel did not allow herself to be consumed by the draining routine or the excessive criticism. She knew that true strength comes from within and that personal preparation is fundamental to seizing opportunities that arise, even in the most difficult situations. And perhaps most importantly, she strengthened her trust in God, and with faith, trusted in herself, acting with courage and humility, knowing that, with this faith, any challenge can be overcome. But how did Rachel find the strength to act this way? The answer lies in ancient words that illuminate our path. Listen to Titus reveal these teachings.
Listening to Rachel's story, we can recall 3 passages that strongly reinforce how right her actions were. Let's start with Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." Rachel could have fallen into the trap of pride, responding to arrogance with arrogance. But she chose humility, as this proverb teaches. True wisdom is not about showing superiority, but about recognizing that we all have something to learn. When she warned about the error, she wasn't seeking glory, but the common good. This made her worthy of trust. She knew who she was giving an account of her work to, for she was supported by Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, which says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord." Even in a toxic environment, Rachel worked with dedication, as if she were serving something greater. This verse reminds us that our effort has value beyond earthly rewards. Her ethics did not go unnoticed because God honors those who act with excellence, even in small things. When the meeting occurred, she remembered the passage in Matthew chapter 5, verse 16 on exaltation. "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds." Rachel did not have to shout to be noticed. Her light shone through her actions. When she corrected the error, it was not for praise, but out of responsibility. And that is precisely what made her stand out. The light of integrity does not fade, even in the darkness. Now, Apollo invites us to reflect, how can we apply these teachings in our lives? The answer can transform your daily life.
This excerpt from Rachel's life shows us that success depends not only on skills but on character. In a world that values competition, she chose collaboration. In an environment that rewarded individuality, she opted for ethics. Her story is an invitation to rethink our attitudes. Are we letting routine or bitterness define us? Integrity is not weakness, it is courage. Rachel could have remained silent to avoid conflict, but she preferred to act with honesty. This not only led to her promotion but also inspired others to rethink their actions. What about you? Are you allowing the environment to dictate your values, or are you choosing to be an agent of change? Let me take this opportunity to thank you very much for being with us. The success that Rachel achieved manifested on the stage of her life, as well as in the lives she touched and the problems she helped solve. Thus, it was shown to us that what truly matters is how much we address the needs around us. Don't forget, in the description, you will also find a sociological focus on the situation shown in the video. If this video resonated with you, help us carry this message forward. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to not miss our weekly reflections. Your support motivates us to create more content that inspires growth. Leave in the comments, what challenge are you facing and how can you apply integrity and humility to your solution? Together, we can build a better world one step at a time. If this story lit a spark in you, there is another video on the screen that will deepen your reflection on purpose. Don't miss it. Thank you for being part of Think Strong. See you soon, and remember, every choice you make can be the start of a great transformation.